Welcome back to TV Show Reviews, episode 3.5. There's a few things I forgot to talk about from the previous episode. One, I forgot to talk about Lila. Lila does some really kind of Amanda Wallace stuff, like having a black site on America's soil and keeping a hacker there without trial or due process. Yeah, and it nearly leads to her and Diggle nearly divorcing, though they do reconcile by the end. Um, she doesn't. She doesn't. Uh, she does appear a few times in Flash, though she kind of doesn't really hold a grudge that much against Barry for kind of alternate timeline for transforming her daughter into her son, John Jr. Yeah. Uh. Oh yeah. And there was a storyline for season 5 where it started off where basically Diggle is in Afghanistan back with the army, and then of course this general who is corrupt frames him for murder and treason. They of course later break him out. Of course, there's an episode. Of course, during that period of time, he's hallucinating. He's seeing Deadshot. Yep, Deadshot, who actually is dead. I had heard that the writers had to get permission from Jeff Johns to bring him in the show again, even though he's in the movies. It was still really stupid of the show to kill off Deadshot because the reason was absolutely really stupid. The reason they killed him was because Will Smith plays in the movies. Somebody had that stupid thing where, oh, we're so freaking confused that why is there two versions of the same character? Then why in the world do we have two versions of Barry Allen? And of course, people have this very strange uh, theory that Barry is going to get killed off at some point, and the Flash TV show is going to get canceled because of the Flash film. As far as I know, that's not going to happen. Yeah. So they do eventually catch the guy. Eventually, he's broken out. Then he's on the run for a little while. Then he's basically headquartered. He's basically tied down to a Argus safe house for a while until he's freed. Uh, then eventually he's captured halfway through season 5. Then of course they find the evidence thanks to, of course, Helix, where they basically free him legally this time, not having to break him out of prison. So yeah, um, and eventually he breaks out. So they had to go to Russia to get him. Of course, Anatoly, one of like 2 or 3 times shows up in the present day. Uh, and apparently holds a grudge against Oliver because what happened something happened back in season 2 because of a particular Russian who Oliver had a connection with. So he initially punched him. Oh yeah, and the city they flew to was Star City's sister city, and he used because of the fact he's mayor, he gets to use a private jet. Okay, fine. So yeah, they also have one episode where uh, Adrian Chase basically reveals a body. This was initially to ruin Robert Queen's reputation. He doesn't necessarily sweep in the bus like he did with Green Arrow because he had no choice but to do that because he didn't have much choice because of the whole thing with Prometheus. Now, it turns out he really did kill the guy, but was completely by accident. Though what was wrong about it was the fact he covered it up. That was the thing, and the fact the thing was delivered to him in his office. Yep. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, the same episode they go to a building called the Oliver Queen building named after him by his father. I'm trying to think though. Yeah, apparently this guy gets back in 2002. As far as I can tell, the character they bring up is, as far as I know, not from the comics. It's just an original character for the show. Oh, there is a really important episode called Spectre of the Gun. I completely forgot to talk about this one. This one's heavily inspired by the Neil Adams Green Arrow stories back in the 70s when he was teaming with Green Lantern. Of course, those dealt with drugs. This one dealt with guns. Yeah. Where they basically initiated a special law that protects, well, people's rights to bear arms. Yeah, it's a special gun law. It's not like the Star City Registry that they were going to do, but it's an altered version of it, and they managed to get past no problem. So yeah, despite the fact you have the sort of dual balancing of Green Arrow and of course Oliver being mayor, he does an absolute great job of being mayor. He makes absolute best decisions as mayor, and I got hands to the writers. Making him mayor of Star City was absolute best choice. Excuse me. There was also a 1.1 episode, I think it was started this particular season, season 6, same episode, where it was just maybe he can run for governor next because he's mayor. Maybe. I don't know. But I highly doubt he'll go away from Star City, so I think being mayor is a great thing for him. He tries best as he can to, well, dodge his bodyguards. Yep. There's one episode Vigilante goes after Oliver Queen because of impeachment stuff. But yeah, they stop him. No problem there. What else? There's at one point where Wild Dog is getting back his daughter. He misses the trial meeting, though initially put the was something really wrong. Turns out basically because Chase kidnapped him. But thanks to Quentin, and of course later on, they do try again because there was actually a good reason why, because Chase kidnapped him. So he was able to get his daughter back, which I think is great. Now he had been injured partway through the first episode of this current season. And of course, he got back in his feet, no problem. I'm sure he can't go back in the field yet as Wild Dog, but I'm sure he can go back to work as being chief of staff. Yeah, that's just my theory, anyways. Oh yeah, Curtis, when they introduced his husband, because Curtis is gay, they introduced his husband previous season. His husband Paul finds out that he is a vigilante. Didn't tell him about it, and all because he didn't tell me he was a vigilante, he was constantly worried about him. He files for divorce, and then the character is never seen again on the show after he sort of divorces him. The character's brought up a couple times after that, but yeah. But at least Adrian Chase doesn't go after him anymore. Doesn't go after his husband. Yeah, it's quite odd. What else? Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, at one point because Oliver had to spend scene because the whole thing was being tortured, so they had to. And there was also a brief set of episodes where he had to stop wearing his costume for some reason. Maybe Stephen Amell wanted to do something else. That could be the reason why. Heck, there's at one point where he actually puts on his quiver, carries out his bow, but he does buy his Green Arrow attire. Yeah, this I think gets us back with his team again. He takes a while before he put his Green Arrow costume back after he's tortured. Yeah, and of course to do with Adrian Chase, he brings in the Bratva to kill him. Oh yeah, and the deal was basically he had to distribute drugs to the streets. But luckily enough, his team did talk him out of it. Thank God. Though it took Diggle a few times, but yeah, he eventually talked him out of it. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Yeah, it took him like several times. Like at one point, he had to burst into his office, basically, sort of talk to him about it. Yeah. And of course, after Adrian Chase is captured, like several times when Oliver sort of talks to Adrian. Heck, at one point, he basically opens his cell and punches him clear in the face, and like blood gets on the glass of the cell. Yeah. This, of course, happened just prior to the finale. Yeah. Though somehow, there's at one point when they bring in Malcolm, he gets into the bunker. Somehow he gets in there, and this is a recurring joke with the show that they really need to change their locks. And a lot of the viewers have pointed this out, but yet in the show, apparently the writers just don't care. They write that in the story. They could change the locks. Oh yeah, and for some reason, somehow in the start of the current season, Black Siren, because she had been in the Cape before, they decided to have it where she breaks in, and apparently she steals something. She steals a prototype T-Spear. I don't know why she stole that for. They didn't reveal in the episode. Probably reveal the next episode. They try to blow up one of the cases, one of the display cases for the costumes. They try to do that. That goes nowhere. Oh yeah, and they also blow up the police station because apparently they can't use that set anymore for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Those are stuff I missed. Alright, so definitely next episode when I get a chance to get to it will be episode 4. It'll be on Legend of Tomorrow. Okay? Until then, I'll see you there. Bye.